working, we serving the streets. About to go ahead, going beast. Bang, bang, leave you sleep.
Tick, tick, boom.
Good morning, Austin. Welcome to the Fans View KAZI 88.7. Travis Kent alongside Jamal January to my left. Looking across at Douglas Washington, twisting and tweaking the boards. Thank you, Douglas, for pulling double duty.
It's a pleasure.
We are short-handed in the booth, if you will, as Corey is out on assignment. Very exciting assignment he has today.
Yeah.
So everyone tune in to KVU 24 for Corey's report on pickleball.
Travis, I'm a fan.
Look, you know what?
It did get me.
Look, I haven't played yet.
Oh.
I'm sure I will play.
Okay.
Probably sooner than later.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'll kind of enjoy it.
I think you will.
And I'm sure it'll actually become, part of my social regime. There are more and more places popping up.
Yes, sir.
Restaurants and themed places, and I'm sure I'm going to bump into it, like I said, sooner than later.
Yeah.
But at this point, I haven't gotten there yet.
Not saying it's not going to
Exactly.
happen. It just happened. No, I just started playing last summer, and I
Okay.
played in a tournament at work against other people that I work with, and it was fun. I was okay. Travis, here's the thing. I still think I'm athletic, but
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I play a lot of I like tennis. I coach tennis, so I get to hit.
Yeah.
But and I like tennis, and I'm athletic. So I thought, at the minimum, I'm gonna out athletic these people.
Right.
You cannot. It's negated.
Yeah.
But it is fun though.
Yeah.
I enjoy it.
Do you gotta have like a little finesse when you get?
Yes, sir. And that's your problem, because sometimes you really want to wail on it because you're like, oh, I'm just gonna send it there, but it's a perforated ball. So I played outdoors. I was playing in outdoors. It was an outdoors league. We ultimately moved indoors, but a little bit of wind picks up. Your spacing, your proximity to that outside line, that person can get to it. It's a small court,
Right.
so you may think I'm gonna wail on this one, and I did. But unfortunately, it's within your reach, so
Yeah.
you're sending it right on back.
Right.
Yeah, a lot of fun though. And then we ran up against. I didn't win that tournament, so I couldn't out athlete everyone. Me and my buddy, he's pretty athletic. We came up against some ringers.
Oh.
And I hate to say this, they didn't look athletic.
Yeah.
But their synergy and awareness and their spatial awareness, they were ringers. I allege they shouldn't have been in the league. Like they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people too, Travis, just last year, so you're not that far off. Most other teams that we were coming across were saying that this was like new to them.
Yeah.
So we were kind of fumbling along together.
And I think, I know a number of people who, they've, friends invited them up in the Dallas area to the Chicken and Pickle or something like that, and so you end up.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's so. Like I said, I'm sure I'll bump into it sooner than later, and I'm sure I'll enjoy doing it as an athletic at least endeavor of some sort to get back into competitive style, right? And that's what we all. As the older I've gotten, and I don't play softball anymore, and I can't really go up to the courts and run basketball anymore with a bad wheel. I just, so I gotta find that outlet somewhere. Yeah. So golf can't do it for me every time.
No.
So yeah, but.
And this will be a lot shorter. The games are only to 11, Travis.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah.
So you're spending hours on that course. I know that.
Yeah.
And then you're probably spending hours in the clubhouse after.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's customary. And you probably got there a little early, so you're on the driving range too. Travis, you just spent a whole day on that court.
Oh, yeah.
But if you do pickleball,
yeah.
I think I just messed it up for you, Travis. Now people listening are like, yeah, switch over, Travis, because we don't get any of you on that day.
So, lots to talk about today. Obviously, we got NBA playoffs. We've got some game sixes coming up tonight. If you're a Texas fan of teams, we got a big night tonight because we got the Mavericks and the Stars both playing. Oof. You need to be somewhere where you have side-by-side TVs because they start within 30 minutes of each other. So be aware of that. We've also got some stories to talk about from last night's games as we had a little Patrick Beverly incident.
This guy.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
I know.
Is he the modern day Dennis Rodman? Is he this generation's Dennis Rodman?
Yeah,
I've been saying that. So I was just see if you guys agree.
probably so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would think so.
He's that guy.
We've got let's see. Oh, state track and field in town this weekend. And I will just give you get my plug in since I have the microphone open. The Fairfield Lady Eagles, defending champions in the 4x200 meter relay, defended their championship yesterday. That's right. So. They also qualified for the 4x4, did not place. I think they finished 6th in the 4x4, but they did defend their state championship in the 4x2, so congratulations to the ladies from Fairfield.
And what's their mascot?
The Eagles.
Oh, okay.
The Eagles. We are the Eagles.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
4x2. I don't remember that when I was a kid. I don't remember seeing the 4x2, but I like it.
So they had I remember when I was in high school, in Texas anyway, they had the 4x2 for the women, but I don't believe they had a 4x2 for the men. They've added it since.
Yeah.
Man, I'd actually have to go back because they might not have had the 4x4 for women back then. Maybe they had the 4x1 for both, the 4x2 for women, and the 4x4 for men. And I think they've kind of gone back and said, what are we doing this for? I don't remember for sure.
Okay.
I'd have to go back and really double check, but now I think they've added it for the men. I mean, hey, you get more speed events on the docket, you make your sport more popular.
Yes, you do.
That's especially a sprint like that.
Yeah,
that's a quick race. So.
I love it. Jamal, if you don't mind. I mean, come on. You're a resident track guy. What events did you do in high school, please, just to bring everybody up? I know we're going to still talk it later, but what events did you do in high school and what events did you do in college?
In high school, my 110 meter hurdles, 300 meter hurdles, long jump, triple jump, 4x1, 4x4.
Okay.
I was busy. I was in pain after every meet.
No.
Ice baths.
At that age? Are you talking about high school or college?
High school. That was high school. In college, strictly hurdles and long jumping. Then I helped with the relays my junior year.
Wait a minute, Travis, you played football.
I did.
Did you ever feel like he's referring to? Because I thought I was invincible. I don't remember ever feeling not invincible in high school, but I didn't play tackle football in high school.
I Saturday mornings after a football game were
okay. All right then.
Yeah, you went up to film session, but you were ready for ice packs.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, Jamal, you were talking about something. I don't remember as many crossovers of the sprints and the hurdles. Mm-hmm. Like the hurdlers usually just wanted to run the I was a hurdler. Mm-hmm. I was not a sprinter. I was on the slower end. The hurdles got me into where I could be competitive because you have to go exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. But then you take me out of that and put me in the 200 meters, and I'm like, I might as well just pull up lane because I ain't anywhere near these guys.
Yeah.
But so that's interesting that you crossed over in high school and ran both. You were both on the sprint side and the hurdle side.
You were fast and a technician.
So pretty much a little bit, and then it's crazy you actually mentioned that because there was a dude. There were actually two dudes on my track and field team that were faster than me in the sprints. Mm-hmm. So my dad kind of helped me convert over to the hurdles, to try and see what I look like in that. Turned out to be pretty good. Got me a scholarship and everything.
Wow.
And then once I get to college, I realized that my speed kind of kicked back in. So there were a couple meets I was not running race. I was running open races, so like the 100 and the 200.
Oh, okay.
Never could get the 400 down because it's more of an endurance issue. But still had some fun.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
But we got a call on the line. So let's jump into that call. Call, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, Mr. Oklahoma, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on?
No, not a lot. What are you thinking today?
Mr. January, you didn't give me a prayer this morning.
I didn't. My apologies, Mr. Oklahoma. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, because when I called in, you said, "Oh Lord."
That was good, Mr. Oklahoma.
Hey, how y'all doing, man? I had to take care of some business. I had some funerals to go to,
sorry to hear it.
Yeah. So how y'all doing, man?
Doing good. Just trying to keep up. Watched the draft last weekend. We'll talk a little bit of NFL draft. I know it's been a week since it closed out, but we only got to talk about the first round last week, so we'll discuss rounds 2 through 7 a little bit later.
Yeah, well, when I get on the air, man, I'm limited what I talk about, so I have to talk about different stuff at the time because y'all on the air,
Yep.
So what I want to start off, man, with the Rockets. Boom, boom, boom. I'm booing the Rockets, man. That's pitiful, man. Travis, I know you happy, Mm-hmm. I know you happy.
Oh yeah. It's been a good season for Dallas area fans. Obviously, we got that World Series last year, so and then I tell you what, the Stars and the Mavericks. Of course, the Stars are actually the 1 seed over in the Western Conference in the NHL. The Mavericks, as the 5 seed, are certainly not looked at upon as the favorites, but I think the way they played at the end of the season with some of the deals they made, Corey's mentioned it on here that the outlook is pretty bright for them, and they appear now. They got off to a slow start against the Clippers, but right now, I mean, that 30-point win and to take that 3-2 lead, it looks like the Clippers are about ready to just cash it in.
Mm-hmm, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that team's going to get blown up, too. I think it's just time to rebuild, ship them off while you can get some value for them, because it's going to be a lot of turnover. It's a contract year for LeBron. Phoenix is going to have to get blown up. So I think things are going to be turned. And there's a changeover of the guard. It's now a young guys league.
Yeah.
The Stars are the young guys now.
I mean, LeBron, Steph, and KD are all out of the playoffs.
For the first time in 20 years?
Yeah.
Or something like that?
Mr. Oklahoma, I thought about this earlier in the week, and I want to offer it to you. What if we just get an old man ball league? Why don't we get Steph an old man ball league in the NBA, a team? So we're just gonna have LeBron and Steph and KD, and they're gonna try to go out on top and win a championship just to beat the young guys. What are your thoughts on that?
Man, I don't have any thoughts on that, man, because I don't know how to. I don't know how much people pay attention to the old man's ball game, bowl games,
Yeah.
So I don't know about that. But what I want to say, man, is that I am so glad some of these teams are getting knocked off, man. I'll be up to about 11, 12 o'clock at night. I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
I take this medication, man. The medication puts me out. I just have to catch the bottle, look at my phone in the morning. I say, God, dog it. I mean, every night.
Yeah.
Every night. This is killing me, man.
I do want to at least give the networks that are carrying the playoffs a little bit of thank you, because I remember in previous years they just would not start any of these games before 7 p.m. And so if you had 3 games stacked in a night, you were playing at 7, 9, and then the West Coast game would be an 11 p.m. start for East Coast or whatever. But now, I mean, at least they're making 6 and 6:30 p.m. starts, which helps a little bit. But you're right, man. Stacking these 3 games a night, and it plays havoc with the sleep schedule for sure.
Yeah, and I want to tell you one thing. Y'all ask this question. Is Zeke back with Dallas? Does Dallas know what they're doing, man?
No,
I'm going to defer to Travis.
Dallas clearly doesn't know what they're doing.
I know it.
Look,
Jerry Jones, sell the team. Sell the team, Jerry Jones.
Hey, I didn't know I'd hear you say that.
But man, I think they are confused. They got Zeke back for 1 year.
Well,
God, dog it.
I don't look on the surface. I don't mind the re-signing of Zeke if he's clearly a number 2 for you.
Yeah.
The problem is they've done nothing to make you feel like they have a number 1, and that's the problem, right? Is because now are you going to come in with Rico Dowdle next year and Zeke battling it out for carries? I mean, are you expecting to have both of them be your number ones and both of them get 12 carries a game? I mean, it just doesn't make any sense right now. Their running back room is probably the worst running back room in the NFL at this point. And you know, look, I like their draft. Tyler Guyton, the Manor product at offensive tackle. BB, the kid from Kansas State as a guard. There are many people who feel like Cooper Beebe will end up being the best offensive lineman taken in this draft as a late round pick, just because he's got the pedigree of Kansas State. He looks like a guard. Yeah. Let's face it. The kid. He does. I mean, if you just walked him out and said, "What does this guy do for a living?" You go, "That's an offensive lineman right there." That's pretty much all he can do. So, but you know, we'll see. Yeah, but I'm like you, Mr. Oklahoma. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, and I want to say, man, I want to give a shout out to Xavier Worthy of Texas.
Yep.
Man, he went to a Super Bowl team, dude.
Yeah.
He's already a millionaire.
Yep, that's right. That's going to be that's a pretty good landing spot for him.
Did you guys see his comments once he walked into the locker room? Oh. And he was like, "Man, this is a downgrade from the facilities I had here at UT."
Yeah.
That's a painful statement. We already had that news earlier in the year. If you remember that Kansas City has one of the worst locker rooms. Yeah, that's not a good look.
Well, and the voters have voted down a new stadium referendum, and so there's a lot of back and forth going on in that Kansas City area. They have great fan support. I want to say that I'd have to go back and read it, but there's a lot of discussion now about. Now, do you go, is it the state of Missouri or the state of Kansas? Where do you go to try to get something out of one of the states? They don't really want to leave the area. I don't see them leaving the area. They're not going to move out of Kansas City, but certainly a shift in the part of, Kansas City is one of the weirdest cities anyway. To be called Kansas City, but then be split between two different states is odd. Yeah. I mean, at least Texarkana is named correctly, right? Half of it's in Texas, half of it's in Arkansas.
Yeah.
But and I got a shout out to Oklahoma. Oklahoma got the world's strongest man's son going to Oklahoma.
Yes, Mark Henry's son is going to wrestle for OU. Of course, Mark Henry, a former Longhorn,
I didn't know that.
Strongest man in the world. Austin native. I don't even know if he was born in Austin, but he's been in the Austin area forever. Great resident here, former WWE wrestler.
Yeah, that's how I know him. I know him from his national acclaim. I didn't know he had local ties till now.
Yep,
that's cool.
So the strongest man in the world's son is going to go wrestle at Oklahoma. So congratulations to him.
Yeah, and I want to say, man, that I was looking at ESPN when the Lakers lost. Man, they talk about, the Lakers lost all day long on different channels. I said, man, so what? And they talk about maybe LeBron James want to go to the Warriors. I said, man, come on. God, man.
He did say he'll go wherever his son is, so I think he's leaving those options open. That was my joke about the team. If Durant was moved back to Golden State, and because Clay's going to have to go. I heard he wants to chase the money. I wanted him to chase reality, and I thought he should have stayed at that team as just a shooter and get that pay at a diminished role. But fine, if he's going to go somewhere else. And I thought that would be a good thing. We could finally see Steph and LeBron together. So I would be interested in. I hate to call it a super team because they're older.
Yeah.
But I would love to see that. If that would be some of that drama, I'd be a fan.
LeBron did officially opt out of his next year. Now, that really is not that big of a news. I think everyone expected that because he needs his options to be open. Word is that the Lakers have gone to him and said that they are exploring the idea of drafting Bronny. Bronny has his name in the the NBA draft and the transfer portal. So he'll have to make an affirmative decision here pretty soon of which way he is going to go. I think everyone still expects him to keep his name in the NBA draft and go ahead and make that move. But it'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah, and Travis, you can, I can't play basketball like I used to because, I played so much, I pulled my Achilles, so I was done with it.
Yeah.
But I still could shoot the rock.
Okay.
You can still shoot the rock, Travis. We can't play like we used to, but you can still shoot the basketball.
Hold on, Travis. Yeah. Do you have a shot? Was that part of your game?
So I was not a shooter. I developed when I came to Texas. I did take I took a tennis class, I took a volleyball class, and I took basketball.
Yeah.
And I developed a better shot. I was not a shooter in high school.
Yeah.
I was a defensive specialist. In fact, I got together with some high school friends of mine not long ago, just a few weekends ago, and we were talking. And two of my buddies that played on the high school basketball team with me remember a game, and I remember this, where I had taken a couple of shots, and during a timeout, coach told me, don't shoot anymore. And then I was the inbound pass guy, and I threw an inbound pass in that went off like the thigh of the guy I was throwing it to.
Yeah.
And so they blamed it on me. And so at the next time out, he told me I wasn't allowed to throw the ball in anymore. And my buddies are sitting there going, he's not allowed to shoot. He's not allowed to inbound the pass. But why is he still playing?
Yeah. Just move the ball, Travis. They just want you to move the ball.
That's right.
It can't stick and stay with you.
Exactly.
They thought you were point shaving.
Hey, Mr. Oklahoma, how about this then? With the number 3 pick in the 2024 draft, the San Antonio Spurs select Bronny James from the University of Southern California. And then you get LeBron and Wemby. Together with Popovich, a coach that he respects. And that would be a really awesome little scenario. I think KD would want to come over to that, and maybe Klay Thompson comes to be that outside shooter. But I think you could build something down there. What are your thoughts, Mr.
You know
Oklahoma?
what, man? is Bronny James? I think he needs to go to the G League first.
No, Mr.
That's what I
Oklahoma.
think.
No one cares about that. We want his
I
dad.
don't think Bronny's that good. I don't really think he's that good.
I don't think any of us actually do.
No.
It's the hype.
Yeah.
It's the jersey sales. It's the baggage that he comes with, which is called his dad.
Yeah.
And I'll take that. I wouldn't mind being a number 3 pick and getting that 4-year contract. Is it the same as NFL? A 4-year initial 4-year contract.
Yeah.
And then that number 3 pick money, and that may be my only contract. But I got to play with my dad for 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's good playing with dad,
Yeah.
But I think Bronny, he needs a little bit more training, man. I mean, I don't know if he'll get there,
Yeah.
But I think he's, to me, not that good.
LeBron has certainly put I think LeBron has put Bronny in a bad position.
He did.
And I wonder if LeBron might walk back some of his statements before the draft, because in the long run, it's about he's got to look at it and say, what is best for Bronny? If Bronny is going to be an NBA player, LeBron's smart enough to know that he needs development time.
1 minute.
And one year at Southern California, following a major life event in his heart attack,
yes, sir.
or whatever we officially called that.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
I know y'all gonna go to a break.
Okay.
Let me say this
Yeah,
one thing.
go ahead.
Tyreek Maxey, if he get away from Philly, if he get to the Lakers or someone like the Warriors, man, I don't know.
No, yeah.
So y'all gonna take y'all break, man. I'll talk
right.
with y'all next week. And Mr. January, did you go to UIL high school track meet?
Not yet. I haven't been yet, but I plan on going to it.
Okay, hey, I'll see y'all next
All right.
week, man.
Thank you, Mr. Oklahoma. We appreciate it. But it's lots to talk about this summer. We're gonna talk about a lot of things going into NBA free agency for sure. So we'll be back after these messages right here on KAZI 88.7. Travis Kent alongside Jamal January, looking across, twisting and tweaking the boards, Douglas Washington. So everyone stay tuned today because later in the show, Douglas will have his full breakdown of Kentucky Derby, along with his betting odds and his all his exactas. He's going to have all of that for you. So everyone, don't change the dial. You do not want to miss the famous Douglas Washington breakdown of the Kentucky Derby.
Travis, maybe not this year, but there comes a year where I have to go.
You do
and
have
for
to
no
go.
other reason. I have a lot of fraternity brothers that live out there and that have gone, and they have told me how much fun it is.
Yes.
But just the dress.
Yes.
It's a dress to impress event.
It is.
And
And you dress to impress all the time anyway.
I'm going brand
It-
new, everything for that.
It-
I would love to just be in that environment and just.
So-
I would love to do it.
I've been to the Derby. I went, my dad and I went one year. It's probably been 7 years ago, something like that.
You're living right.
And had a fantastic time. It is gorgeous to look around.
I
It
bet.
is just a spectacle. We went on both Friday and Saturday. So like today is Kentucky Oaks Day. It's a big day in and of itself because not everyone can afford the tickets to Saturday if you don't make this your trip, and so a lot of people use the Kentucky Oaks Day they do a lot of dress up and they kind of treat it as their Derby day on Friday, and then on Saturday obviously it is a spectacle. So now all the stars come in and you've got the red carpet walk that you can kind of go up there and watch all the people flowing in, but it is a fantastic time. And yes, Douglas, I would say that you have to go at some point because you would fit right in. Like I was out of place. I'm wearing like a nice golf shirt with a blazer on it, and I bought myself this little fedora, but I'm not.
Hey.
That's not really the way I dress, and it looked out of place on me. You would fit right in.
Travis,
So,
listeners, you just got to indulge us for a second. Travis, you're going to need to send a picture to that group chat. We're going to want to see this. We're going to want to see this
I'll look-
attire.
Yeah, I know I've
dapper
got
kit.
it. Oh my gosh, no.
So, your grace, please allow us.
And I was probably about 30 pounds heavier, so I kind of look dumpy in the picture too. I'll send it to you so you can see it.
What'd
but
you
it
do
was-
to lose the weight?
I'm taking the semaglutide shots. That people are talking about now that kind of suppress your appetite.
the celebrities are doing.
Yeah.
Is that the name of it? I thought it had a different name.
There's several Manjaro or there's several different names of the manufacturers.
Yeah.
But and there's two different versions.
Yeah.
And each of them kind of have their own benefits and things like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm taking one of those.
30 down, brother.
Yeah.
No, that's the key. I mean, just like Mr. Oklahoma was saying he lost someone. I just lost a close guy I worked with. And he was only 13 years older than me and just gone. Wow. And it really hurts.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we got to take care of ourselves, man. Just whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Extend your life, please.
Go out and play some pickleball.
Look at you. Nice callback.
So let's talk some NBA playoffs, why don't we? And let's. So I want to start on the West. The West is just, I think, more. It's easier for me to talk about because I watch more of their game. But we had two sweeps.
Yeah.
Thunder sweeping out the Pelicans. I don't think any of us were surprised at that. Zion injured going into the playoffs. Even at full strength, Oklahoma City certainly did not look like a team that was going to be vulnerable in the opening round. Now, could they be vulnerable moving forward? They certainly can be, but opening round did not look like the Pelicans were going to put up much of a struggle, and they didn't.
Yeah. So that Pelicans setup, I think they're okay. I'm not asking for them to turn it over. By all what we know, Brandon Ingram and Zion get along great. I haven't heard of any problems.
No.
I don't remember him speaking up when people were talking about Zion's size and like physicality. I would have liked that to say, hey man, he shows up and plays hard for us. I don't appreciate people saying that about my guy. I think that would have been cool, but maybe it's not his personality.
Yeah.
But they finished 49-33 on the season, almost 50 wins. That's a good team.
Yeah.
I think you played out. If Zion wouldn't have got hurt, they would have looked very different.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that team. I'm not gonna worry. I don't want to change anything there. I do think that they ran into a buzzsaw. This Thunder team, I don't know where it's going to end up, but Chet Holmgren and SGA, my gosh, I love that team.
Yeah.
I love their ball. I love watching Chet. I think, weren't you a Chet fan throughout the season? You were liking him?
Yeah, I mean, I was a little dubious as to how good of an NBA player he would be. His body, it's kind of the same talk we've had about a number of players. How long will Kevin Durant's body be able to hold up?
Yes.
How long will was it Kenyon Walker? There's been a number of players we've said this about. Man, they got skinny legs. Man, how's that body going to hold up? It's been holding up pretty well, and he looks good out there. So yeah, I'm very impressed with what Chet's done. I will say this: I've had enough of he and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's commercial.
Oh, the what a pro
was. I'm done. I'm done with it.
I haven't seen it. Not even once.
Oh my gosh!
It plays
I must
on
live a
and
sheltered
on
life.
and on.
Now I do see SGA. I do see a lot of his on my social media. I see a lot of ads for him and his shoe. Him back to back with another version of himself.
Yeah.
I see a lot of that, and I think I may do that Converse shoe because it's a little throwback. But no. Oh, and I've been seeing a lot of interviews for Chet.
Yeah.
He's in not GQ, but he was in a bunch of things that I've been seeing lately.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't seen that commercial. I'm sorry, you guys are done with it because I haven't seen it yet.
It is. I mean, I guess I've just watched enough NBA playoffs this year because it seems like every commercial break.
Yeah.
That is one of the ads that's in there. So, but
You know who in that OKC who has really been outstanding though?
who's that?
Jalen Williams.
I was about to ask you guys about him. He finished that last game 24, 8, 4, 2. 24 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals. I'm impressed. Shot over 50% in that closeout game. Very integral when they pulled forward in the fourth quarter. I like this guy. Did you know about him?
I actually did not.
I didn't follow him in college.
I did not either.
All right.
All I remember is him getting drafted, and I was like, "Who's this dude that can comb his hair?" Literally, when he put on the hat. But he's been playing outstanding. He's like a little wild card, and I like it a lot.
So Travis, Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Pretty much all year they looked great.
Yeah.
So, are you counting them out? Because I have a feeling you don't be Mavericks guy right now. Though.
Right. Yeah.
But can we give them respect as the? I know Minnesota's number one.
Yeah.
But can we give them respect that it's still going to be Minnesota? And remember, you're not Mavs guy, but
right.
Can we stay chalk?
I still think chalk is the favorite right now.
All right.
I do.
Yeah.
I do feel like that. I do feel like both of them are susceptible, though. I think the West is balanced enough, and that there are enough pieces in whoever they're going to face. I don't see the Clippers rebounding and coming back to beat the Mavericks. I don't know if the Mavericks will close out tonight or not, but Kawhi is not 100% healthy.
Yeah.
So assuming that it's not the Clippers that advances, because I don't think the Clippers, if somehow the Mavericks just come out and shoot 35% the next 2 games and get beat by the Clippers don't have enough in the tank to beat Oklahoma City, I don't believe.
Okay, so here's I want to argue, Travis.
Okay, sure.
Did you say that about Shaq and Kobe, the Allen Iverson championship run, because they were young and they went one because
Yeah.
Allen Iverson stole that one, because I think you're playing the young guy card, right?
Yeah, a little
With Oklahoma City.
Yeah, a little bit.
But these young guys didn't give up a game, so it means
Right.
they understand the moment, right?
No,
Can I offer that?
Yeah, 100%. And I call them the favorites. I do think that yes, they're susceptible just because I'm assuming in round 2 they got to play Luka and Kyrie, right? And so, it's like their roster is like this is not the Warriors from 6 or 7 years ago where you looked at them and said, yes, there's a bunch of good teams in the West, but clearly the best roster is this team. I do think that Minnesota and Oklahoma City are very worthy of where they are. But I don't look at their roster and say their roster is so dominant that there's no way anybody beats them. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Okay, so that's where I wanted to go back to, because I want to talk about Jalen. Mm-hmm. So Jalen went to Santa Clara. That's why he was under the radar. What am I checking on there? I mean, we didn't. That's why.
He's a Bronc.
But for the. Oh, really? I thought they were like Bulldogs.
No, Santa Clara's a Bronx.
Okay, I didn't know that. All right. So during the season, though, he was a 19.45 guy. That's respectable.
It is.
And then you guys did hear about. I know he had some legal stuff. So if anyone wasn't following him, Josh Giddey. Mm-hmm. He's respectable, and so that's a good. I think I want to say that's a good roster. I mean, Josh was 12.64, so he's an all-around guy. There's no shots left when you're feeding Jalen, when you're feeding SGA, and when you're feeding Chet. So Josh is getting in where he fits in. He's young. I really like that roster, and I want people to come take it.
I do too. I like their roster overall, but I just. If it's Dallas versus Oklahoma City, tell me who the best player is in the series.
Jamal, I'll let you go first, because you look more lost. I had something, but I was holding it back.
I mean, based off an NBA career, it would be Luka so far. But this season alone, I mean, in my opinion, SGA should win MVP. That's just my opinion.
No, I
would, people in the past were saying SGA should win MVP this year based off the way he was playing, and then you look at what he's doing in the playoffs.
Yeah. So I was gonna say Kyrie because we've seen it.
Yeah,
but that's why I hesitated, because I wanted to say Kyrie, but I will put a SGA if he's gonna play like he did all season.
Yeah,
I'll say whatever Kyrie could do, SGA could do.
And that's kind of my point was, if you tell me that you think SGA is the best player in that series, I'm not really going to argue with you that much. I love SGA.
Yeah.
But then I'm going to ask you who's number 2 and who's number 3, and Luka and Kyrie are going to fill those 2 slots.
But Travis, now when I give you Chet and Jalen, Luka against Chet and Jalen, because I don't think anyone thinks that you have a down low player that scares anybody. Y'all, and you know I'm a fan of Lively.
Right.
Right on my fantasy, I keep telling y'all all year. And so will that equal out those two?
Yeah, I mean, look, we're getting a little bit ahead, but I like the discussion where we're going. So. Gafford is going to be the key to that series. If you can keep him out of foul trouble so that you can play Gafford and Lively and play them both at the same time if you want, and then give them time to rest each other, then it's a very difficult matchup for Oklahoma City.
Okay.
If Gafford gets in foul trouble and Lively is supposed to be the guy, he's just a little too young and a little too wet behind the ears to be as effective on both ends of the court as Gafford is. Gafford's just got a little bit more salt to him, if you will, and so then every time you're all of a sudden favoring Oklahoma City in those games. But yeah, it is just a much closer roster battle than what we had back when we were looking at the roster of the Warriors and looking at the roster of some of the other great teams. You look at the roster of the Miami Heat back with LeBron and Wade and those guys. It's just right now, I think this is as balanced what we're going to see a very balanced Final Four, in my opinion, on the Western Conference side.
I'm just hoping for fireworks. To that point, I know we're going to get back to the East, but what we saw from Jalen Brunson and Tyrese Maxey, I want that, Travis. I want Kyrie, and I know. I was going to say, I know Kyrie can't do it because he's got to feed Luka, but I want to see these guards, since Luka's called a guard. I want to see a 40-40. And I mean 40 from one guy, and then the other team's guy drops a 40. I want to see those fireworks. I want that series. I want the Knicks Sixers series out of these two. I just want those fireworks.
Yeah,
I want to see that.
No, yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the East and the West both have. This year is going to be one of those odd years. I say odd year. 3 of the 4 series are going to be very interesting to watch. I still don't think that anybody can really challenge the Celtics. Yeah. And so I don't care whether it's the Cavaliers or Magic. I don't like either one of their chances against the Celtics.
Yeah.
Maybe I could be wrong. Maybe I'm just not maybe I haven't seen enough of those two teams. And by the way, honestly, have not watched a full game of either one of those teams. Oh wow! I've watched portions of games. Yeah. I wasn't even that Cavs Magic series isn't really even on my radar.
Okay.
Yeah,
so you haven't watched a full game of like them in the playoffs or just the regular season?
Regular season either.
So hold on, that game they played the Mavs and Stewart hit that buzzer beater.
I wasn't watching. I didn't watch that game. I was not.
I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch that game. You actually told me about the next morning.
Yeah. I'm almost curious on why you watched it. Did you watch? You were watching the whole thing already, or you clicked over and then you were able to catch the game winner?
I was watching the whole thing already.
Why?
Stewart was lighting them up. Stewart was lighting the Mavs up. He was like 12 for 12, and then also Jared Allen is on the team. I played basketball.
Okay. Yeah. Well, see, I don't think a lot of people are. I think a lot of people are agreeing with Travis. Cavs Magic, yeah.
Oh, it's one of those. If you see your matchup, and you're like, "Oh, we got this in the bag. We don't need to watch this one."
Well, yeah,
and they also were coming on at the same time as Knicks Sixers, and that was the NBA's fault.
Yeah. And we started off these series with the Stars and the Mavericks on alternating nights, and so I was watching NBA one night, and I was watching NHL the next night. Yeah, and you just don't. There's not enough hours in the day for me to put my eyes on all of them. I will say this, and this is why I still say, and because by the way, I'm going to enjoy getting to watch Jared Allen play. I mean, he's a Longhorn, man. He's one of our guys. He's a local product, a Round Rock guy. But the when you look at the game recaps. One of the things is that both the Cleveland and Orlando have lost games only scoring in the 80s. You can't be that hot and cold offensively and expect to really challenge the Celtics. Yeah. The Celtics are going to score 90 plus, upper 90s, hundreds in every game. Mm-hmm. And if you're not fit for playing 6 or 7 games where you can put out an effort where you're getting to those numbers, if you're only going to put 88 points on the board, you're getting beat by 30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no defensive stoppers on those two that we fear. Yeah. We were supposed to be West, but we took it back East. But I guess we're in agreement then, so we're chalk. We're chalk on the East then. It's going to be number 1 versus 2. It's going to be Knicks Celtics.
I believe it will be, but I think the Pacers are playing. The Pacers are playing good basketball.
Wait a minute,
I don't think it's a walkover. I don't think it's going 4-1.
Travis, here's what I want to say: the Pacers are just doing what they've been doing all year.
Yes,
they outscore people.
Correct.
They don't play no defense, and
correct.
That recipe makes me think that they can't go far. So that's the only reason why I'm
they're going to lose. They're going to lose in 6. I think they're going to lose. I think the Pacers are going to lose in 6. But do I? If this series, if the Pacers Knicks series somehow goes chalk through the first 4 games, because the Pacers go to New York and get run off the court 2 straight games, but then they come back home and they shoot 55% from the 3-point line for a couple of games and find a way to steal back those 2 games and make it 4-4. All of a sudden, you're like, I still don't think they're going to win the series, but if they shoot like that, they can really, on any given night, beat anybody. And the points for the Knicks, really just come from a couple of guys.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Okay, yes, since Randall's not there.
Yes, right.
But these are the Nova Knicks. And so that 3-headed monster is still pretty nice. So which one are you guys discounting? Because you nodded your head. So you agree that it's a 2-headed? Because I think it's a 3-headed dragon with Josh Hart DiVincenzo, and Brunson. And I wanted to save this because I'm trying to put salt in your wounds there, Travis, when it comes to Brunson talk.
No, that's fine.
But we're serious mode. I wanted to get the jokester mode. So which one of the heads are y'all cutting off? Because if it's Josh Hart, which I think he just did a 17-14 in a closeout, and then it was his 3-pointer at the end there, so he should be respected, is what I want to argue. So who are you guys really only looking at between the three of them as their 2 leading scorers?
I mean, I was counting out DiVincenzo. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh, well, now I gotta know, Travis. Who are your 2 leading scorers of expectation for the Knicks?
I think it's going to be Brunson and one of the other 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just agree with that too.
That's so.
That was the best answer.
Yeah, like look, I'm on board with what you're saying, in that on any given night, that the 3 of them all play well and they win those games.
God, man, I thought we were gonna get to this later. We've got a little bit of time before we.
Okay,
Travis.
Yeah.
Jamal, I think these boys believe. I think 10 years from now, there's going to be a movie made about these 3 guys, the Nova Knicks. It's a thing. Going back to the fall of 2015. No, they were recruited in 2015, got to campus on 2016, and they were roommates, DiVincenzo and Brunson. And then, I mean, we're sharing the remote, we're sharing pizza, we're sharing, and then now with Josh Hart, I think they believe. And I'm just wondering, can that little love story carry them to a championship? Are y'all sure? I mean, they're doing this as the Knicks. These are the low Knicks. They haven't won a closeout game since 1999. Are y'all sure that you're not fighting against fate right now? Because I'm convinced that these boys are a destined team. And I'm sorry if I'm going too long, but Travis, I don't believe the Celtics. I still think there's a problem with the Celtics, even though they're the number 1 seed. And so them winning the championship, I just don't see it. I'm not convinced. So do you guys don't think that this is going to turn out to be some, I hate to say it, Disney movie? I
mean, what did LeBron say? It's just basketball. Like some days it's someone's day, some days it's not. Like, I mean, we literally on the Celtics, we literally saw Derek White become a monster.
Oh my gosh!
Like,
I love Derek White.
Hey, so we had the phone ring in. We've only got a couple minutes for the break, but let's jump into the phones. Hey, caller, you there? Caller, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. Thank y'all. I'm a little behind the time on the Cowboys, so I might have read something that somebody already said. But as a fan, the Cowboys, they never do much in free agency. So I'm just taking good care of the running backs and see who they got. They got one from, I think, the L.A. Rams named Royce Freeman. If his name is Freeman and he came from Round Rock, it might be him. It was a big family that stayed up on the hill of Round Rock. He's the name Freeman, they know who they were. So we have, in the running back room now, we have Royce, Freeman, and then Rico. Then we got Zeke, and I think 2 more other running backs. And also we have Deuce Vaughn. For a while there, I was looking, Deuce Vaughn was the only running back Dallas had until they went to free agency. Now we got a problem at Michael Parsons, C.D. Lamb, and Zach. Those big contracts, they haven't said what they're going to do with them. I don't know what they're going to do. If they're going to trade 2 of them or trade 1, I don't know. I'm just saying.
Then let's go back to that and ask Travis. Travis, why didn't they draft a running back then? At a minimum, you should have done that. I thought we all agreed, just wait and go get the Wisconsin guy. I'll have to see where it goes. I'll tell you that. So that's your answer?
Yeah,
I don't know. Travis is not happy.
It doesn't make any sense. And I think I'm being serious about this right now.
Yeah.
I think the best running back on their roster right now is Micah Parsons. Micah was like a 1,800-yard rusher in high school.
That's good.
If you asked me, let's have a practice and let's find out who the best running back on this team is right now, I would say, Micah, get over there with the running backs for let's run some.
In that celebrity basketball game, he moved great.
Yeah.
And you guys know you got to be pretty athletic to play basketball, as we've noticed.
Yep.
Man, put him back there.
So.
Flu Man, were you excited about the wide receiver then? He ran that 4.44 in the does that excite you? The speed?
Yes, it did, man.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I didn't know he had that much speed, and maybe he didn't know neither. Yes, man, it was very exciting. Man.
And he's he's okay. He's not slight. 6'1", 202. I'll take it. I like him. He averaged a little over 15 yards per catch. So that tells you probably a good route runner, some good hands. That you're pulling in the big stuff if you're averaging 15.
Yeah. I don't know about the Cowboys. I just hope, man, this season coming around, we can maybe win 10, 11 games, maybe even 12. But it could just backfire on us any minute, man, or any time. We don't know. We don't know what they got until they go out and start playing.
We got a couple minutes. I just want to ask you, Fleur, man. Okay, so you go out and win another 12 games. You know, some of us don't even win that, and maybe you win the NFC East. You're not gonna be happy with that. It's championship or bust as a. I'm genuinely asking. Is it championship or bust as a Cowboys fan? You guys can't be happy with these good years you've been having of double-digit wins.
Yeah.
I really want to know that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, you know what? I think last year was championship or bust. Because they had planned on and say, okay, we got all these big contracts we can handle.
Yeah.
But this year, I just got my fingers crossed.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd like to say something right quick before we cut out. I know we ain't got long. We got Formula One racing. What I love, man, is coming to Miami.
Yep.
This year. I love it with that open wheel racing and got speed galore, man. I have a dream. I always wanted to go to Monaco when they had the Grand Prix of Monaco.
Yeah.
Just be lucky and have about $20,000 to spend there, gambling, betting, and everything. But I might get in trouble.
Oh, you could do all that in Miami. I think you should go, though. I'm excited.
Yeah, you know why I might get in trouble? I just gamble all my money and I don't have a ticket to get back to the United States.
Call us up. And Jamal, he's got you.
All right, thank y'all. I gotta go. Bye bye.
All right, Frugal man, we appreciate it as always. I don't know anything about the Cowboys running back room. I'm at the point now to where I don't have a clue what they're doing. Will McClay mostly runs the draft for the Cowboys, and really the last 4 or 5 years they've drafted pretty well. But you would hope that they have some plan. Last year, McCarthy said that he let Kellen Moore go because he wanted to run the ball more and be a ball control offense. And then as they didn't run the ball that well, they became more and more of just put it on Dak's shoulders throughout the season. And so my guess is that they've just kind of scrapped trying to be a carry the ball 25 or 30 times a game running team. I think that they're just going to be a spread offense, and Dak's going to have to throw it 40 or 45 times every game. And they just try to piece together something from the running back position and save money there. And I don't know. At least Zeke coming back is a good protection running back in the backfield. And so now you have a blitz pickup guy, and I think that's the only thing you can really say about the Cowboys running back room for now. So we need to get to a break. We'll be back on the other side right here on the Fans View, KAZI 88.7. And we're back on the Fans View, KAZI 88.7. Travis Kent alongside Jamal January sitting across from Twisted and Tweaking the Dials, Douglas, Washington. We appreciate Douglas pulling double duty. He's pulled double duty double times today already.
Yeah.
So,
man, we were talking off air, and we can't even give you guys all this stuff on the air because we're talking about it behind the scenes. And everyone knows that Travis is from the Dallas area. He's a through and through Dallas area fan for the majority. He went to UT, so I don't think SMU is going to take him, or North Texas is going to get him. So he's a Longhorn there. But I'm telling you, Travis, I can tell by the looks you've been given in your replies, you're not unhappy with the draft. You're not happy with free agency. I wanted Derrick Henry to go to you guys last year. You didn't get him this year. He went to Baltimore. Baltimore went and got another running back. They went and got that guy Rasheen Ali out of Marshall. So even though they got King Henry, they went and got another guy too. And this guy was 5'11", 206. Marshall had a pretty good year. They're coming out of nowhere. He's just coming off of an injury in the Senior Bowl. But, man, even they went and got another guy. So I didn't know we were going to get to NFL that quick.
Yeah.
But, Travis, can I just ask you this last thing? I did ask Mr. Pflugerville Man. Sorry, Pflugerville Man. Travis, if you can get 12 wins, even if you get 11, I'd take 11-6. But are you okay? Or do you agree with Pflugerville Man that all the pressure was last year? At this point, you guys are just gonna exist? You're just gonna live?
No. I mean, Jerry said he's all in, right?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, come on, it's all in.
What?
Of course.
But I don't know what that means because I thought getting King Henry would have been all in. I think. Didn't you say where did OBJ go?
To Miami.
Yeah.
I would have went and got another wide receiver. I know this guy 4.44 is okay, but you know what you're going to get out of OBJ, and he doesn't have to be your number one. That's all in.
So here's my fear, as a Cowboys fan. All right, is that we're about to see history repeat itself. You remember, was it 5 years ago, 6 years ago, when I don't even remember the names that Dez was gone. It was the year that they cut Dez, and they go into the next season with just 5 guys, like 5 guys at the wide receiver. They did sign a free agent. He's kind of a mid-level wide receiver free agent, and said, "Well, we're just going to do running. We're going to do wide receivers by committee." And then after getting off to a 2-4 start, they go make a trade for Amari Cooper, and the offense immediately looks 1,000% better. But you had to give up. I think they gave up a number 1 to go out and get Amari Cooper. And I'm afraid that we're staring at something like that in the face again this year. This is a playoff caliber team. This is a team that Jerry believes should be 12 wins or better and should challenge for the NFC Championship. And you're going to go into the season with a running back room that I think is going to be so pitiful, unless they make some miracle move going into the season. It's going to be so pitiful that if they get off to a struggling start and they have 0 run game and it's hurting the passing game because everyone's just pinning their ears back and blitzing Dak like there's no tomorrow, that you're going to have to go make a move in the open market and waste another draft pick trying to trade for somebody out there that I don't know what the name would be, but you're going to have to go make a deal for somebody to bring in a back that can at least carry the ball 15 times a game for you.
I like what you did there, Travis. Great job. You're a great fan. So that record, they finished 8-8, second in the NFC East. They expected that year they were supposed to be 10.753. So let's say 11 wins, 5 losses was the expectation. That was the Michael Gallup, Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott went for 1,350 yards. Yeah. Blake Jarwin was the tight end, and Jason Witten was tight end. And okay, now I get it. I'm glad you're good because I didn't remember all those. I had to look all that up. So Travis, they finished 8-8 that year though.
Yeah.
If you finish 8-8 this year, y'all's heads are gonna explode.
Yeah.
I at least was saying.
For sure.
Travis, can you just ask me this? Answer this for me while I ask you. Are you sure Jerry Jones isn't just being a businessman? Is he just 12 wins, 12 wins, 12 wins? So what? I don't win at all. My franchise is just grabbing value. Everyone's fans. They're not losing any of y'all. I have yet to see a Cowboys fan say I'm done with them. I think. Is this just okay? I mean, you're.
No, so I think Jerry is too much of a businessman, but it's not the business of on the field football.
Yeah.
I mean, once again, as just looking objectively, trying to pull myself out of being a Cowboys fan, looking at this roster.
Yeah.
I look at the quarterback position, and I think they have not renegotiated yet with Dak. In fact, Dak's last public comment back before the draft was that he hasn't had any communication in a few weeks with the Jones family. We know that Jerry and Steven are the ones negotiating the contracts. Every day that goes by, the price for quarterbacks goes up. I look at this roster and I think there is no way they let Dak walk. You're going to re-sign him. I don't know whether he's an NFL. I don't know whether he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I don't know anything like that. But I look at the rest of the NFL and go, if you let a guy walk away who's clearly a top tier quarterback in your league, then you're an idiot. So you're going to re-sign him, and every day costs you more money. And we saw this when they didn't sign him soon enough last time. And that's why they're paying. I still stand by the point that you could have had Dak at $25 million a year the first go around, but you didn't. You waited, and you had to pay him $40 million a year. Now you're waiting around. Instead of paying him $50 million a year, you're probably going to end up having to pay him $60 million a year. And that they continue to. You say they're great businessmen, and yes, they are. Because the Death Star is making them a lot of money. They got the World Cup's going to play games there.
Yep.
They're selling out concerts. They're having I think they're also partial investors in that Texas Live. Mike Tyson and the TikTok guy that's going to box him.
Is that Jake Paul?
Jake Paul, yeah. Jake Paul. So they're only going to do 2 press conferences leading up to their fight.
Yeah.
One of them's going to be in Miami. The other one's going to be at Texas Live. Right across from the Jerry World.
Okay.
Those are the types of things that Jerry's really good at. He thinks he's really good at football, and he's not. General managers of other football teams aren't distracted by trying to book the next big concert at their venue. This is unique to the Dallas Cowboys, and it has hurt the Cowboys over the years. And Jerry can claim he's all in, all he wants, but the fact of the matter is, he's distracted by other things. He's not nearly as good at football as he thinks he is. I don't think it's going to get any better when Steven is fully in charge. And by the way, I think Steven's kind of doing everything right now anyway. I think Jerry wants to continue to be the mouthpiece, but I think he's already given a lot of stuff to Steven and let him run the operations. It's still a great brand, but it's a joke of a football franchise, and that's the sad part of it.
Yeah.
But I guess in his defense, you can say, even running it as poorly as he's run it for 30 years, they've won 12 games the last 3 years. I mean, they're still considered a favorite in the NFC East going into next season. I mean, it's
great. That's exactly what I wanted, because the next thing I wanted to ask you was, did the Eagles have a better draft than you guys? They went and got a cornerback with their first pick. They went and Cooper DeJean, cornerback with their second pick.
Yeah.
Cornerback. Then they did the edge rusher, Jalix Hunt from Houston Christian, Texas dude. Will Shipley, there he is. They went and got him.
Yeah.
I was talking him up, running back. And then they went wide receiver, then linebacker, then offensive guard, then wide receiver, then another offensive guard. Yeah. Did they get better? Are you worried about Philadelphia, just from what I've given you?
I'm always worried about Philadelphia because I think they have the best front office in the NFC East right now.
That's a great statement.
I think they've certainly had their struggles, and you go back to their Super Bowl run. And Carson Wentz getting hurt and then coming back, and he's not the same guy, but they kind of make a decision to get away from him quick, and they start. This is a front office that's not afraid to sit around and go, things aren't right. let's get rid of the pieces and bring some better pieces in. And so, yes, Philadelphia's and I think the Giants franchise is kind of stuck in a rut. Mm-hmm. They don't really know which way to go, and so they don't scare me as much. The Washington Commanders, it's a whole new regime.
Yeah.
And so we have to give them time to kind of feel out who they are. Mm-hmm. And so, it kind of leaves the Eagles standing there. And I think they look across the table at the Cowboys and go, we're going to make better decisions than them.
Okay, so
they're really good on the field, but we're going to make better decisions.
So just because you mentioned them, I want to just add that. I want to ask something on that. So are you sure the NFC East is not going to have a Houston Texans with that number 2 pick? I know this is the game, but if you guys could oblige me here, are you sure Jaden Daniels isn't going to come do a C.J. Stroud and as a rookie and then take the NFC East? I want to start with you, Travis. I want to see how fast you can say not no, but hell no. But are you worried though that I know you said new regime, but you didn't say anything about Jaden Daniels? Like, could he do that C.J. Stroud thing, or we just know that they're two different guys?
I think it's a great pick. I like
wide receivers.
I like him. Yeah,
some backs.
Yeah,
they went and got Austin Eckler.
Yeah.
So that's all. I was just kind of curious if you were worried. We're still on Dallas, but I just wondered if you were just wondering that maybe Washington could come out of nowhere.
They could
and do that.
Would it shock me? No, but I think I'd be surprised if they. Are they going to be better than they were last year? Is their coaching staff better? And at the quarterback position, are they significantly enough better to where they're going to win 3 to 5 more games they did last year? I think that's very possible.
Okay.
I think they're definitely better. I love Dan Quinn as a coach. Mm-hmm. I think he's going to do really good things with their defense.
Yeah.
And I like Jaden Daniels, and I think he's got a good chance to be a successful NFL quarterback for the long term. I don't necessarily think he's C.J. Stroud, but I wouldn't rule it out.
Okay.
So,
I feel really bad, fellas. Maybe I can go back and get that footage. Oh, this is my 1 year anniversary. Remember, we started the show May 5th of last year.
Yeah.
So this is my 1 year anniversary of being on the show. But I wish we could go back and look at our conversations then, because I don't remember if I thought C.J. Stroud was going to be C.J. Stroud. I think a lot of people were on that Alabama quarterback a little bit more. So I was just wondering, like, how did we know that? Or to your point, that's just a great organization with a great coach, sort of like what you said about Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
And so you're not worried about the Giants. They're going to run it back with Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts, maybe he's healthy now. And I apologize, listeners, because I really want to get this Dallas thing worked out, because I'm trying to figure out what's going to happen with Dallas. I actually just don't know. I don't know what the franchise is doing, and I was hoping maybe you could just guide me, because we're Texas, and we got to get some Cowboy talk in.
Yeah, I'm not sure I got much for you.
Okay. That's fine by me. I'm glad. Hey, Pflugerville man sent us down that path. He said he missed the first part, so he sent us back to it. Yeah. So we were finishing on the West though, because we kind of covered the East. I think we said we're gonna pretty much stay chalk. We got to talk Mavs, because I got to know some things from you, Travis, on how you're feeling here. So you're watching hopefully close out Stars tonight. Non-stop, or you're gonna have two TVs.
I'm gonna have two TVs. I'm gonna have two TVs.
And
going.
You think either way, close out tonight. Either way,
I think the Mavericks close out tonight.
Okay.
I think the Clippers. I think they essentially took a knockout punch the other night. You could be by 30. You don't have Kawhi. You're not gonna have Kawhi tonight. Could Paul George and his cast of characters come out, but you're relying so much on James Harden. let's say the Mavericks win tonight. Is it the last game that we see Russell Westbrook play? He's worthless now.
I don't think he's fully worthless. I mean, I think he just finally accepted his role as a bench player.
No.
Or something like that. But
I want to offer you this, and I don't think he's going to get it. So I want to make fun of the young guy. He's going to Ron Harper the rest of his career.
Ron.
I think he's athletic enough where he'll just be. So Ron Harper was a big time scorer for the Clippers, and then he got with Michael Jordan and became a defensive stalwart. So I think, especially I'm talking old man ball. I don't know if him and Kevin Durant have made up, but if Russell wants to stay on the court, maybe he goes to a team and he still uses that athleticism and length, and is just a defensive guy. Going forward, maybe not a starter, but he accepts the role, a role player as a defensive guy.
Man, I watch him when he got kicked out the other night. He gets kicked out with 1 point, and he gets frustrated that he's just getting ragdolled by Luka, and just takes out his frustrations. And I realize they don't have Kawhi. But I'm kind of asking myself in the back of my head, I go, is he actually giving you really anything when he's on the court right now? He just is a shell of the player he used to be. Luckily for them, they have James Harden who won't give up the ball. Because, my gosh, if you had somebody out there who shared the ball and gave it to Russell Westbrook, I mean, he'd probably put the ball on the floor and go to the rack 10 more times a game and be unsuccessful doing it because he's not nearly as athletic as he used to be. I just look at him and wonder if, I don't wonder this about Draymond, because I think Draymond still brings something to the table on the floor, right? But Russell Westbrook, I don't think he's bringing anything to the floor, and he's just being a headache.
Energy and aura is what I'm going to say Draymond still has.
Yes.
And he was never an athletic guy.
Right.
So he knew how to play old man ball, old man body. I don't have to over athlete you like a lot of guys can do. It's a home game tonight, Travis.
Yeah.
For the Mavs. And for that reason, that's why you're saying they're closing out?
Yeah.
You're giving that to them also?
I
home
am.
cooking.
I am.
What we always say, bench players play better at home.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. Well, then there goes the Clippers experiment. They got to break that up too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know where else they go. They're the oldest team in the league.
Yeah. And there's a lot of money.
Yeah. So
and it's an LA product. And aren't they moving into a new stadium here shortly? Their own stadium?
Oh, they are, yeah.
So you need to go draft something and start a new franchise. Go draft Bronny and bring LeBron over to open your new stadium and build it that way.
Travel across the street.
I've heard dumber ideas than that. I mean, I'd say
beat the Lakers to it.
Right.
That would be the ultimate way. We're going to take your king of LA to the Clippers. I think he's got a good relationship with Paul George. I don't remember there being like drama. And yeah. Well, okay. Well, I'm just offering it. Sorry, I know we got some California people that are here. That's the best I could tell y'all about Clippers. But so Travis, are you gonna stay? Are you in town tonight? Are you heading up? No. You're gonna watch this all from Cassaday, Kent?
Yeah, either at home or a local watering hole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
all
something
right.
like that.
Jamal, are you gonna? I am a fan, but I'm not watching the Stars tonight. So this is what I would be watching, and I'm not. I'll check my phone, but I would watch this Mavs. I've always been a Kyrie. I'm a guard. I love his language with the ball. He's got the layup game that he plays like a short guy. I feel like he's Muggsy Bogues. He's got all those angles, and he shows you the ball and moves it here, and then man, he's a wizard.
He is.
Did this change your opinion of Jason Kidd? Travis, I know I asked you before. I'm going to ask you again. Y'all win this series. You guys make it to the NBA championship, just like he did with the Nets. I feel like you're in love, Travis. You're going to like him. Jamal, this is what I do. So
the root of the question is, has it changed my my stance on Jason Kidd?
Yes, sir.
It has a little bit, yeah. Yeah. Like I thought he was totally inept. Now I think he's just not a great coach.
Okay. He makes it to the NBA championship. Oh, sorry. Crap. Y'all got to deal with Denver first.
Yeah, we got to deal with, yeah.
Okay, you make it to the Western Conference Finals and lose to maybe one of the greatest teams of all time, especially if they go back-to-back.
Yeah.
You got to give it to them and then see if they're going to three-peat next year like the Chiefs. So if you lose to these boys in the Western Conference Championship, you're okay with that, right? Because you're losing to a great team.
Yeah, if we go to the Western Conference Finals in this season, when realistically I thought that we were going to be somewhere between a 5 and a 7 seed in the playoffs, and we end up getting the 5. I'm ecstatic with how the season went. Jason Kidd clearly will deserve to get. He may get a extension on his contract. With a season like this. Does that mean that I think he's now brought himself to another tier of coaching? Let me see what he does. Let me see. Does he make any moves? Does Luka get in foul trouble one night and he has to really shuffle some pieces to make a play?
Yes.
I'll let it play out. I'll let it play out. But I still think that you go into a tactical game with Jason Kidd at a disadvantage to most other coaches. That's kind of the way I look at it.
All right. You make it to the NBA Finals, and you're playing the Knicks, which doesn't even sound right. I don't like those teams coming out of the East. But let's say you're going to play the Knicks, because I just think that the Celtics are done. And, of course, Knicks got to get past Pacers. You go to the NBA Championship.
No.
You don't win it. Now, how do you feel about the guy?
I'm gonna stay the same. I'm gonna have the same.
So nothing's gonna change.
Nothing's gonna change the fact that I think tactically, Avery Johnson coached the Mavericks to a 1 seed.
Okay.
And they get swept out of the playoffs by an 8 seed. That was who was at Golden State then? Baron
Davis.
That
team.
That Baron Davis. Don Nelson was coaching that team. Yeah.
That was a fun team.
I just think we're really. And do I think Jason Kidd can continue to get better as a coach? Yeah, certainly I believe that. But right now I think tactically Dallas is at a disadvantage when they go into games. But that's just. And it's. Is it impossible for this Luka, Kyrie, Gafford thing to do? Is it impossible to think they might make it to the finals? Not impossible. I still think it's unlikely. I don't know how you get past Jokic. I just don't know how you do it. But let's give it a shot. I'd love to see him try.
I'll tell you, Jamal Murray's not healthy. He had the calf thing.
Yeah.
And we don't know how far. Was that adrenaline that got him through that last game?
Yeah.
The closeout. He's such an underrated, in my opinion, player, because he's an amazing guy. Amazing player, sorry. But, okay, I was just kind of curious on what you, as a Mavs fan, could you be happy with where you're going and just say, all right, coach, I'm
happy with where we're going right now. I'm happy with where we're going right now.
So no matter how it turns out, you're ready to come back next season.
Yeah.
We see that the guard that your backcourt is pretty awesome together.
Yeah.
Maybe one of the better of all time. I'm waiting for a name. I feel like I don't think people realize what that talent is. You having Kyrie and Luka.
That's right.
There's no name. They should be not the Splash Brothers. I know that's taken, but they got to be something. The Texas Twosome, the Ropem Boys. You're gonna need to do something.
Texas Two-Step.
Hey, see, Jamal figured it out. So then, Travis, none of us said anything. So I'm just gonna come back to you to start, because I want to know what the young guy says, because I think this is his guy, Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're not even worried about him coming out of the West.
Once again, how do they get past Jokic?
Yeah.
I love Anthony.
You don't think Big Cat can equalize? The Big Cat, he won the 3-point shootout. So Jokic is gonna have to come running out on him. Unlike Anthony Davis, like you gotta close out on Big Cat, and you keep pulling him away from the basket, right?
Yeah,
that's what I would do. I mean, Big Cat, if you finish with 1 rebound, we good, but you just stay out there and launch.
Yeah, I mean, this
it doesn't sound like it's gonna sway you.
Denver, this is a really veteran,
I agree,
grizzled team, man.
They're so impressive.
They're grown men out there. And I love what Minnesota's done this year. I love the pieces they put together, but I'm going to stay resolute, and I think that Denver is the favorite to come out of the West. That's the way I look at it.
Okay.
So, but all right, so we do need to get to a break, and so we're going to get out of here, and we'll be right back for the last segment after. We are back on the Fans View. Travis Kent alongside Jamal January. Across the room, twisting and tweaking the dials, Douglas Washington. Douglas, we appreciate you pulling double duty and pulling double duty on a back-to-back morning as well.
Yeah.
So, we still want to. I don't know. We have a ton left to talk about in these playoffs, but we haven't talked much about that Nuggets Timberwolves game.
I wanted to hear the generational tone, and I've leaned into my old guyism these days. Sorry to call you old, Travis, since we're from a similar time frame. But I do like it because I think there's something we learned from a different generation, and I want to also remind them that I'm from one, and I want to share of mine. So I'm just curious, Jamal, since you're young, if you're a first-time listener, Jamal is younger than Travis and I. Just kind of curious, what's the streets, what the young guys, what are your circles thinking about Anthony Edwards?
Anthony Edwards is that man.
Right.
There are people saying that next year he's going to win MVP. But here's what's crazy to me. I kind of think of it as Anthony Edwards kind of stole someone's spotlight a little bit. And I'm talking about John Morant. Because John Morant, if you think about it, the dunks, the scoring and everything, then the crazy defensive plays, really dunking on your favorite player. John Morant was doing that. It's just, John's getting in trouble and stuff, and he has to deal with it too.
So it's funny. Do you guys think that Ja could ever recover? Will the media, will the voters always hold this against him, and he won't get MVP nods going forward? Do you think this is irreparable? I don't want to call it the Allen Iverson effect because he didn't do this stuff. And we appreciate it because he was a smaller guy. And so I would just want to say, like, if y'all are thinking, well, a small guy can't win it, but do you guys think that it's irreparable right now with Ja when he comes back?
I think Ja's still gonna be doing what Ja does. I'm hoping he still gets the recognition, and really that game between Ja and Anthony Edwards is gonna be a sight to see.
Yeah. Just going at each other.
From an awards standpoint, I do think it's going to hurt him.
Yeah.
I just think there's enough writers out there, and I think there's even a lot of front office personnel who are just going to say, you have to be penalized for what you're doing to the game. Well, get back on the court, play really well. We hope you do because you're going to help make us all money. But you've lost the ability to deserve the accolades that go along with being a great player. I kind of feel like that's going to be his legacy moving forward.
Guys, he's going to have to switch it up. He needs to become Steph Curry. He's going to need to get married, have some kids, bring his kids to the press conference, volunteer, do some Subway commercials with Shaq and Papa John's with Shaq, and then Subway with Barkley. Yeah. Like, he's going to have to be Golden Boy. He's going to need to be Carlton for people, because I think, to your point, they're going to be standoffish, stiff-arming him. Because you're like, if you put money into him as your guy, how you know he's not going to do another slip up here and be like, hey, look what I got in my waistband again. Like, he's going to.
I know. It's.
Okay. So then Anthony Edwards is potentially the next generation's guy. He's their guy. They're riding with him. And I like where the league is at. I think we've officially transitioned. I think with Wemby coming in this year, I'm going to say this is the year. It's Wemby's rookie year. When we look back at it, I want to anoint it. This is the year where it transitions. Even though LeBron won the the mid-season tournament. Sorry. I was just trying to see.
Got to give the Lakers that dub after the way.
Did you guys hear how the mayor of L.A. she came out and she was trying to tell everybody right when the Lakers went down. She was trying to tell everybody, "Well, we won the mid-season tournament."
Yes,
and she had to take that off of social media and like walk it all back because people were coming for her. Yeah,
they put up a banner. Look, in her defense, they put up a banner. I think the NBA made them.
Yeah,
because the NBA really wants this league to try to embrace this mid-season tournament thing.
Yes, sir.
But if you got a banner up for it, who's to say the mayor shouldn't at least say, well, we did win something this year.
When you get reeled onto the court in your old age and you look up, you'll always be able to say, "That's my banner up there."
So I know they didn't give them rings for it. Did they get medals for it or anything?
I just think they got money, didn't they? I
thought
they got money.
I thought it was just that because I don't remember seeing anything.
Maybe they should come up with a belt.
That would be nice.
And then, what if you got belts? And then the rest of the season, you come out of the locker room.
Yo, I like that.
With your belt over your shoulder. And then you have a guy, and everybody just goes one by one and gives it to their training guy, and he goes back and puts them in a special foot locker or something like that.
Wow, look at you with the flair.
So actually,
I like it.
It's actually funny you mentioned that because the Big 12 has to deal with the WWE.
Yes,
and I remember at the Big 12 championships after UT won, I think the best player gets the belt or something like that.
Yeah.
So some teams do it.
Yeah.
So maybe they play every game. They get to play. Since I said Ric Flair, they get to play the Ric Flair quote. Every home game, they get to come out. We just a mid-season champion winning. Diamond Rolex having.
Have the Lakers been wearing anything on their jersey to signify like they were in-season tournament winners or anything? I think we talked about that back when we were talking about the in-season tournament and saying they should come up with something like that.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of the belt. Sounds like a really cool idea.
It does.
And then maybe you even put a little belt on, little championship belt on their jersey for the rest of the season.
Show. And
exactly.
If you want us to treasure that remind us of it.
Yeah.
And make the other teams be like, man, I don't want that belt.
Because now at this point, we're about to celebrate Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
You were done with that tournament back in when? January, December?
Yeah.
When did they finish that? That's like half a year ago. Like literally, we've seen a Super Bowl since then. We've seen an NCAA championship since then.
Yes.
It's like I know that they're just trying to create more swirl around the NBA during football season so that they can at least try to make that October starting date seem like it's actually a good idea. If you're going to lean into this, let's lean in all the way. Don't go halfway in.
Travis.
Yeah.
Tonight, are you even going to sneak your head over for Predators Canucks?
No, I'm not.
I know. I look, I got some friends over in Nashville. I don't know anybody that's really interested. What? I don't know what it's 3-2. Yes, we can close out. But no. And I'm not saying this because I'm in Texas, because I know a lot of people love those Golden Knights.
I watched some of the Boston game last night against Toronto. By the way, Boston had a chance to close out. Yep. They came out really stiff. They did not look good at all. Toronto kind of took it to them.
Yeah. That was tough to watch.
It was.
I used to live there, and I went to so many. That's the most hockey I've ever seen. Is when I lived up there. I went to the Frozen Four. Yeah, I've done it. The Bean Pot. Sorry, but I'm so shocked. I'm pulling for you, Bruins. It's only 3-3. We'll see.
Yeah.
Going to a game 7. We'll see. Who you got in that series?
I thought Boston was going to win the series going into the series. They had a 3-2 lead.
Yeah.
Like I said, something was off about last night's game that worries me though. You would say, well, they'll be able to recollect themselves and they'll be fine, and very much maybe they will be. But that was one of those games where you look at it and go, ooh,
yeah,
I maybe have to rethink where my thoughts are on this series. But hey, pros have a way of forgetting, and so maybe that's what will happen. Who knows? Sure.
Okay. I'm very curious. This is going to be a hockey caller. I'm just going to say, yeah, I'm going to say it's a hockey caller.
Okay. Hey, caller, you there?
Yes, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hey.
I'm good. I just had a quick question. I love hearing you guys talk about the sports and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I know y'all were talking about the Cowboys a little while ago, and I wanted to know, is Deuce Vaughn still playing with the Cowboys, and what is his role on that team? Or will he have any impact on that team?
He is on the roster, yes. He didn't really find a role last year. I think they thought he was going to see some explosiveness and be able to use him maybe in some passing situations or something like that. It didn't materialize. He's a small guy. And while we have seen other small backs that have come in the league and found, he's just got to find a way for himself. Maybe this is a year he takes a step forward and maybe he can become a punt returner. But yeah, he's still with the team. I still think that the Cowboys would love to be able to keep him on the team and not have to shift him to like the practice squad or something. But yeah, he's still around.
I just don't know if he's getting ahead of Tony, ahead of Zeke, and they liked, was it Rico, right?
Yeah,
and they like Rico. That's a lot of people to jump.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to have to get used elsewhere.
So,
well, even though he's small and short, he was always so quick when he was playing with his college team.
Right.
Yeah. Right. As you know, there aren't a lot of teams that want to put a lot of eggs in that small running back segment. You remember Dave Meggett with the Giants? The Redskins had a small guy. Do you remember his name?
Joe Washington.
That's it. And then Warwick Dunn out there with Atlanta, and then when he was in Tampa. But they normally pair him with a big back, so they do a little lightning and thunder, and they don't have another big back. So again, I don't know how he's going to get it because he doesn't have any thunder if he's the lightning. That's normally how they pair him up. I'm trying to think. There was a bigger back with Meggett, and there was a big back with Washington too. But
Stomp Mitchell was with Meggett, wasn't he? Remember Stomp, or was it Stomp Mitchell? It was. I remember who. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. What's his?
Of course, Mike Allstott with Warwick Dunn.
Yep.
So yeah.
And then they had when he was in Atlanta, not the Dirty Bird guy. But they had another bigger guy, I thought, with him there.
Yeah.
But hey, that's a great question, ma'am. Are you related to Deuce?
No, no relation at all. I just love football, and I love listening to you guys' program. It's very interesting.
Well, thank you. Hey, did you go with us all the way to the Kentucky Derby? Would you be interested in going?
I would love to go. I just don't have the funds to do that.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Y'all have a wonderful day and great weekend.
Thank you. We appreciate the call. Thank you very much. So, 512-836-2887. If you'd like to get a call in, we got a little bit of time left. But
Jamal, she says she likes you. She likes you. So, take that. Anywhere else today? Is anybody else in your life going to tell you, you know what? I like you. But you got it now. She said it.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Hunt the good stuff, brother.
Speaking of the NFL, last week, Corey, Travis, and I sat here and said that A.D. Mitchell was going to be the first name.
Oh, man.
Y'all did.
And we watched how many receivers?
Five or six receivers go before AD.
Now that we're back, I mean, I would love somebody to explain that to me.
I have no idea why.
Neither do I.
Well, okay, so can we just ask what are the problems with AD. As I said, I'm happy where he went because he's going to play with my fraternity brother now up there in Indianapolis. But 4.34, that's fast.
That is fast.
What? How does that not get the draw? So he ended up going second round, 20th pick to the Colts. After Keon Coleman, who's a blast. Have you seen any of his interviews and his statements, Travis?
Uh-uh.
Oh my gosh.
Hilarious.
Yeah, he's a character.
Okay.
And he's leaning into it. So even if he's not a good football player, he's gonna be working in media. I think he's a soundbite just waiting to happen.
Okay.
So he went after him. He went after Ricky Pearsall from Florida. He went after, well, of course, Xavier. Brian Thomas Jr. from LSU. I mean, when your quarterback wins the Heisman, I think people are going to be drawn. That was the Mike Evans to Johnny Manziel. People realize he's got to be throwing to somebody. Travis, who would you put him over then of those guys? Jalen Polk from Washington, you putting him over him?
That was the one I was really shocked that
New England went and got that.
Got him instead of AD.
Do you think it's the cold weather playing outside, and they don't think that his 4.34 is going to hold up in that cold weather environment? Is that why they didn't go? Because Polk wasn't burning anything up. He's not that fast.
So I think, and that's not even what I think. This is really kind of what I've read since the draft. And I hadn't heard this necessarily going in. But there was a couple of the questions surrounding Adonai were, and evidently he's a type 1 diabetic. And I don't know that he watches his diet very well. I think that at least there was one blurb that said there were some questions around how healthy does he keep himself. I think that what flows into that is then if he's not taking care of himself and keeping himself at top physical condition, that he may be sort of he may not be the best teammate. He may not be as reliable as some other players. What happens if he doesn't manage his type 1 diabetes during practice week, leading into a game, etc., and it costs him? You don't have peak ability player.
I get it.
There were some rumors about that being a part of it, but I can tell you that as mad as he was after the draft, you might see a brand new Adonai Mitchell, and you might actually end up seeing the best version of him with Indianapolis.
Might want to take him on fantasy.
That's right.
So you should be mad that you're second round. I mean, we expect him to be a first rounder.
No, I think he just. I think he's. It's who is it that wears number 2 on his jersey, because he's still. I can't. I'm gonna have to look this up. There's multiple players. I never remember the names of these guys, but who was it that famously could recite every player drafted before him in a draft?
Amaron?
Amaron.
Yeah.
Because they have to find a reason to feel slighted.
I hope he's that guy.
Right?
Those guys are fun. You're right. I do like that.
So
I'm going to burn you up. I know, because Steve Smith just wanted to have an edge, a chip on her shoulder anyway. But, yeah, I like that. Okay.
So.
Well, 6'2", 205, 4.34 with a quarterback that's got a cannon. You got Josh Downs as their slot. You've got is it Antonio Pittman? So you got Antonio Pittman on the other side. You know your role. You're the guy. You're to take the top off the defense guy. Woo. They look good. And, who's their tight end out there? And they got a nice tight end. Isn't he a long hair guy? Is that jog y'all's memory?
Oh,
there's their tight end. And then you got your running back Taylor. This Indianapolis team. It's probably a better situation for Mitchell, because he's gonna come in as a day 1 starter. Doesn't have to sit behind anybody, and you got somebody. When you're that fast, you need a guy with a cannon that can get it to you. Because if you're coming to a Kirk Cousins who doesn't have that kind of arm,
Yeah.
you're kind of missing out. Did you get the tight end's name?
Kyle Granson. Kylan Granson is the guy's name. He's not. He's out of SMU. So I don't know if that's who you're thinking.
No,
but
he was already on the roster.
Okay.
I thought. But they did draft another tight end. Indianapolis did.
no, this guy's been with him for a couple years.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, maybe I'm confusing that then. I thought they had a tight end that stepped up. So, Adnai, you got your fuel, brother. This is your time.
Oh, you're talking about Mo Alley Cox.
Yes.
That's who you're talking about.
Yes.
And they don't. This depth chart I pulled up doesn't lift Mo Alley as the starter. And so that's what I was doing. But yeah, Mo Alley Cox. That's definitely who
Did
you're
he
talking
have
about.
some injuries or something? Is that why he wasn't listed there?
I don't
Okay.
know.
All right. I think that's going to be a great team there in Indianapolis. We'll see how that turns out. I think you're okay, Adnai. That's easy for me to say. Maybe you want it first round money. But
Well, it's certainly going to help Michael Pittman Jr. as well.
yes, Michael Pittman. I said Antonio.
Yeah.
Michael. Was his dad Antonio? No, because he's junior.
He's junior, yeah.
Okay, never mind. I had the Pittman.
It's all right. That's all right.
There's a lot of guys. So, I just want to ask you guys one other little thing. Michael Penix, I am really falling in love with him going to that team. I'm actually rooting for him to take over the reins because I want to see him with some talent. I want to see the drama. Kirk Cousins, I just don't know how healthy he's going to be coming back from this. I know he's going to force himself back, but he's an older guy. So I'm ready for that drama. Looking forward to that.
We talked about this last week, but I really like the idea of bringing Kirk Cousins in and drafting Penix behind him.
Yeah.
And letting him learn from whatever if you've seen the quarterbacks documentary, Kirk Cousins, big family guy, big faith guy, seems to be a great guy in the locker room.
Probably the most loved player in the league.
Exactly. He seems to be not the crusty guy who's going to say, "Backup quarterback, get out of my way." He's going to be a guy who actually tries to help you and bring you along. No, he's going in with the knowledge that they're not trying to bring the kid in to replace me. They're going to replace me when I can't do it anymore, which is probably in the next several years. I am 35 years old, so that's it's not a situation where it's hostile, and I think it's a great situation for Penix. I really do.
I do too. I'm looking forward to that, and I don't wish anything bad on Kirk Cousins, but I'm so curious. I really liked Penix, and I just want to know what Atlanta clearly thought. There's no way can we let this guy get past us. So if he's the Patrick Mahomes of this draft and he's going to get that, well, I'm all for it because we're going to have that Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes thing here with Kirk Cousins and Michael Penix. So
agreed.
All about the drama.
Agreed. Well, guys, we're out of time.
Unfortunately.
And man, we didn't get a chance to go through the Kentucky Derby field. You've done all that preparation. I mean, I can't believe you brought this whole board in that we're looking at that has all the silk colors and everything. I mean, dude, you are ready for it.
Well done.
And we didn't save time for it, man. I apologize. We'll do better. We'll do better
Next year.
Yeah. Hey, Patrick Beverly and I will do better. We'll do better.
I see what you did there.
So, all right. So we appreciate everybody listening in.